Hey there, how you doing? So today I want to talk to you about intimacy. Intimacy is really the primary step of having a healthy relationship. So before you even start to date, you have to be intimate. And mainly you have to be intimate with yourself because you can't be intimate with anyone else if you're not intimate with yourself. And if you don't love yourself, how the heck do you think someone else is going to love you? So there's a really cool acronym for intimacy, which is into me, I see. Into me, I see. So does that make sense? So you need to be intimate with yourself before you can be intimate with anyone else. So that's the most important thing. How do you become intimate with yourself? Well, you take a look at yourself. You stop refusing to look inside. You recognize that you are the common denominator in all of those relationships that have gone bad. So intimacy just means look at you, look in the mirror, love yourself, then you can go on and date and get into a healthy relationship, okay? Second thing is vulnerability and trust. In order to create an intimate relationship with someone, you have to be able to be vulnerable. Have you ever had a situation with someone where it was like there was nobody home? I mean, that's happened to me over and over again. And I'm like, whoa, hello, anyone home? And the reason that I'm unable to have an intimate relationship with those people is because they aren't vulnerable. They aren't open. They're hiding who they really are. So again, it goes back to self-love, but you have to love yourself and you have to be able to trust that person has your best and highest interest at heart. And even if they don't, if you don't trust and you're not vulnerable, you're not even getting off the starting line. So what's the sense in being there? So vulnerability is a high priority in intimacy. You cannot have true intimacy in a relationship without you being vulnerable. And you also need a partner who's willing to be vulnerable as well. Third thing is acceptance. You need to be able to accept your partner or your potential partner exactly as they are. If you don't accept that person and you think they should be something that they're not, then why the heck are you dating them? Like, just stop, back up, and go out with someone else. So you need overall acceptance. Of course, you're not going to accept everything. You may not want to accept the fact that person lies to you. Well, that's a whole different video. If that person's lying to you, that's not something that anybody should ever accept because that's just, you can't be vulnerable. You can't have authenticity. You can't have intimacy when someone's lying. So if you're working with someone and you want intimacy with them, which of course you do, then you have to accept them as they are. If they're not acceptable to you, then you need to move on. So one way to accept them is to listen to them, understand, and empathize with them. So when they're trying to tell you something about themselves, perhaps how they feel, you don't cut them off. Because if you cut them off and finish their sentence for them, then you're not accepting them. You're telling them what you expect. You're telling them who you want them to be. And that is not acceptance. So each partner has to accept the other as they are. Except for the little things. No, little things included. Like I'm leaving the shoes out in the hallway, okay? That's something you can accept. Leaving the cap off the toothpaste, that's something you can accept, right? Now the fourth factor that's important in creating true intimacy is gratitude. So you need to be able to accept your partner and be grateful for everything they are and grateful for everything they do. So you've probably heard over and over again that you should do daily gratitudes. I'm huge on daily gratitudes, but I'm also huge on showing others gratitude because when you show someone gratitude, you honor them. Now, if you're honoring your date or your potential partner, then you think they're not going to honor you? So a way to demonstrate gratitude on a date would be, wow, Thank you so much for opening the car door for me. That's freaking awesome. It means so much to me. That's the kind of gratitude I express. And if I'm expressing that kind of gratitude to a man, what do you think his reaction's going to be? I'll tell you, he always gets a big grin on his face and says, of course, happy to, right? And that ensures that he does it for me again, right? When you're down the road in a relationship, it could be gratitude for putting that pizza in the oven, gratitude for calling on the way home to say that you're going to be late or that they're going to be late. So it's very important for each partner to have gratitude for the other. And this is something that needs to continue for the rest of your life. If you don't have gratitude, then ask yourself, do you really deserve this person? So gratitude is a high priority in life and in a relationship. So the fifth thing that is important in true intimacy is touch. There are many ways to demonstrate love, the 5 love languages, but touch is a biggie because touch is intimacy, right? Now let's not confuse touch with sex. Sex is really another video. Sex as intimacy, or is it not? But touch is just the little things, like when you're driving in the car, you put your hand on his or hers. Touching someone on the back of the neck while you're driving, just to let them know you're there, just to let them know you're thinking of them and that you care about them. So let's say you're on the couch watching Netflix. It's touching. It could even just be your feet touching. For me in the past, it's been our toes touching when we're sleeping, if not full-on spooning, which is my preference, of course. So touch is something that's very important, and touch is very important to everybody. And it is because we do it with our children, we do it with our grandchildren. Why wouldn't we do it with our partner? Remember touch. 6th item on my list of having intimacy, strong intimacy, is to embrace conflict. Now, why do relationships fall apart? Because of the conflict, right? When people are unable to get through the conflict, that's when a wall is built up between them. So I associate each conflict, unresolved conflict, as a brick in a wall. So if you say to your partner, I need this, I'm sorry, this is not working for me. I really need you to honor me by doing this. Perhaps it's telling the truth. If your partner or your date or your relationship partner does not honor that, then you need to talk it through. You need to face it head on, and you need to be open, honest, and vulnerable, and accept your partner and have gratitude for your partner in resolving that conflict. Otherwise, it's just not going to go away. And if the conflict doesn't go away, it'll build up a wall, and you'll end up miserable and probably split. The last way to create intimacy is time. So time, again, is one of the love languages, but I'm talking about time overall. So if you don't spend time with someone, individual, undivided time, how do you think you're going to build intimacy? Intimacy happens over time. If you're ignoring each other, you're not going to build intimacy. If you're preoccupied doing something else when you are together, you're not going to build intimacy. So time could be a little time or could be a lot of time. The more time you are together and the more time that you are intimate together and vulnerable and accept each other and have gratitude and touch and embrace conflict, that's what builds real intimacy in a relationship. So intimacy comes with all of those things over time. You see older couples, and you say who look really happy, they're holding hands walking down the beach, and I say, I want to be like that. That's what I want. Those couples have built intimacy over time, and that's the only way to have that level of intimacy, is to give it the time and do all of those steps in between. So thank you for listening, and please like, subscribe, and comment. Have a great day.